Hey everyone, welcome to the Cloaks of Minehelm, 5e D&D actual play with the folks here at Penny Dragon Games. I hope you like undead things and smell of rot and decay, because we are once again in the catacombs underneath the city of Minehelm, which stinks bad enough as it is up top. So I don't know, maybe it'll be a respite down here. So we're going to join this group of brown cloaks, city watch for the most dangerous, stinkiest city in all of Estra, and they are currently on the hunt for the tomb of a necromancer whose necromantic energy is leaking out from his tomb, upon which a seal is fading, and they're going to go down. Hopefully, shouldn't be too hard. Stake him and cut out his heart and get back to the surface. So couldn't be easier. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. So with that, I'm going to have everybody go around and introduce themselves, just as I see it here, just who they're playing and what class, etc. And now we are missing one of our party this week and next week. So we're missing Paddy, who plays Vorden, the human fighter, but I will be filling in, and I'll run Vorden, who is a crotchety old curmudgeon, and he likes his wine. I'm Ben, I'll be DMing. And who do we have up first? Kyle, why don't you...
So I'm playing the half-elf wizard, which is the hedge wizard called Tram Scribe, also known as Pouches, a lovable scamp who loves magic just a little bit too much.
A little bit.
Yeah, little bit too much.
And appropriately, up next, Michaela. Why don't...
Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm playing Navani, and she is a high elf paladin, and she is a paladin of, an arbiter. She wants to become an arbiter arcanus, which are, the type of paladins that kind of hunt down evil or magic, or people using magic improperly. So it's kind of good that I'm
rogue mages.
Yeah. It's kind of good then that I'm kind of Pouches' sister. We grew up in the same orphanage, so I try and keep him out of trouble. So yeah, that's who I'm playing. Try and fail miserably all of the time.
Yeah. Navani is a paladin of the institution of Lawkeep, who, as she said, does all that, sort of magical regulation. And she did technically, before we went down into the catacombs, technically she did take an oath, but it was sort of off the books, so she's not like officially an arbiter yet, but
no,
she sort of took the oath,
and she's going through kind of a bit of a crisis at the moment, emotional crisis, due to the fact that the Judge Magister of Lordkeep has sent her on this mission to kill the necromancer, and basically told her that her mentor was the one that he suspected of ill.
Yeah. Her mentor, who conducted the oath ceremony in secret before all this happened.
Yeah.
So next up, I got? Sorry, I'm just looking around on my video. Fona.
Hi, so I'm Fona. I play Andy, who is a young human rogue in the Brown Cloaks on work release, essentially, from prison. Just a little bit of B&E. Wasn't that big a deal. Probably shouldn't have ended me up in prison. Last week, or in the last while, Navani got her a new pet. She has a little cat called Ember, a little ginger, probably quite vicious cat, I would imagine. But so far, Ember has been nice and quiet.
Scrappy. I would call him Scrappy.
Scrappy. And let's see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see. So, and Ember is in your pocket right now, down in the catacombs. Is that right?
Ember is in a little inner pocket I made in my cloak, or in my coat, where she is totally safe. Actually, it could be a he or she. I don't think we've ever actually decided.
Didn't we decide on the last? I swear, last session you eventually were like, "No, I'm leaving the cat behind."
No. I definitely brought the cat with. So yeah.
I don't remember.
And Ben went, "Whoa, you're bringing the cat! Excellent! I think that's a great idea."
Yeah, I don't remember if we decided boy or girl for Ember. I feel like it might have come up, or that maybe Andy has decided, maybe without not really knowing how to check. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think she knows how to check. But yes, and also Andy is on the lookout for, well, she got a little rock of awesome vibrating, with much hilarity in the chat at the time. And so she's waiting for it to start like magically vibrating to tell her she's on the way to her most important quest at the moment, which, you know, is obviously
waiting for
way
that
more
build
important
up
than staking that old necromancer, you know. So
yes. Once the vibration has done its job, there will be release for Andy, and you know,
the whole story will come to a climax.
You know. Yeah. So
that's Andy in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And what's going on?
Yeah, on that bombshell, Boyd, who we got?
What's up, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I play Dural Stonehelm. He's a young, naive dwarf who gets involuntarily agitated when he crawls through dungeons. He loves tales of old adventurers and sometimes likes to throw hands. And he swears a lot in a particularly dwarven fashion.
He's got Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary waiting for you.
By the way, Ben, just as a warning, Kat says if Ben kills Ember, Osri will make sure Sir Squeak has an accident.
That is metagaming to the extreme. That's metagaming across 2 games. Okay. I cannot my valiant Sir Mouse Knight cannot be punished for things that I do as a psychotic DM.
We have entered the multiverse where consequences from one will have consequences in another.
Yes, this is because we're gearing up for a Spelljammer campaign where all these universes are going to cross. Sorry, before I forget, actually, Boyd is playing. Doral is a homebrew, or a non-official wizards class, the pugilist, so kind of a strength-based monk barbarian, a strength-based unarmed fighter, by Benjamin Huffman. Really good class. I highly recommend it. You can find it on DM's Guild.
Check it out. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, Benjamin Huffman, as I just saw on Twitter the other day, has a public playtest for his newest class. I think he released like the first 5 levels, so his stuff is good. So, check it out. And I think so. That's the Cloaks. That's all of these poor unfortunate souls, as Ursula would say, down in the catacombs. But I think rather fitting, actually, that we're down here on a spooky adventure with zombies and creepy crawlies, because we just announced, or we're just in pre-launch for our next Kickstarter for the next issue of Mag of Holding, issue 3, which is Gothic Horror. And yeah, so we're really excited about that. Launch is going to be Tuesday, the 28th. Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh, nice. A scary, excited noise.
5 p.m. British Standard Time and 9 a.m. PST.
Yeah, 5 p.m. ish.
Oh yeah.
Ish. Okay.
Okay.
I better ghosts in the machine.
We say that because Paddy, who's currently in Scotland, has to click the button and he has to find somewhere that he has signal.
Yes, and he may be in a haunted castle in Scotland and cannot get to the phone right now. Who knows? But there's it's going to be tons of great stuff in there. If you liked the previous mags, you're gonna love this. And if you haven't checked out any of the previous mags, please do. There's going to be something in there for you. But you're going to love this one if you're a horror fan. Probably particularly if groups that run stuff like Curse of Strahd. There's going to be stuff in there for them, because who doesn't want more hauntings and horrible monsters that want to kill you and tear you limb from limb?
Exactly.
We love all that stuff, all that good stuff.
Also, Ben, isn't there's something special about this mag for you?
Oh, is it? Yeah, I'm having nightmares trying to finish my adventure. Is it?
No, I was going to say that this is your first mag, though, isn't it?
This is my first mag. Writing, published. I have done some editing on 2, but this is first full frontal, mag for me. Yeah,
Full
so I've
frontal
got some stuff that I contributed, which people might like. If anyone was watching Castlevania and really wants to play someone who fights monsters with a whip, we've got a whip master feat and a couple magic whips if you want to, get your Trevor Belmont on. So, and we got some monsters and there's adventures, and I've seen everything in there. It's really great stuff.
Yeah. Super
Mine
excited
is
for
okay,
it.
I can't, I can't say that about my own stuff. But no, there's really great stuff in there. So keep an eye out. Launching 28th. I was gonna say October.
No,
launching on the 28th of September. Well, I'm thinking Halloween.
Yeah.
So right for that build up to Halloween. It's spooky season. Everyone's getting in the mood. So launching on the 28th. 5 p.m. British summertime or British Standard Time, is it?
Yeah.
UK time. Yeah. And what is it? 9 p.m. Pacific?
9 a.m. Pacific.
9 a.m. Sorry, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm bad with time zones. Okay, it's not,
around that time, as we said, it'll be within,
Yeah,
That
an
hour.
hour.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
say 6.
Say, yeah, you know how it is. Look, do you show up to a party exactly on time? No,
Yeah.
it may be fashionably late. So
We'll see.
yeah,
we'll see.
without any further ado, we'll get into tonight's festivities. So I'm just gonna switch over from our little landing map to where we found ourselves.
I realized I was like, wait, I feel like I'm missing something, and then realized I haven't actually even opened Roll20 yet.
Oh, I've been there.
Like, I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
Oh wait, just give me a second. I need to open Roll20.
Yeah, so we wrapped up last week just as combat ended. You had fought some what at first glance appeared to be run-of-the-mill, easily handled zombies, but before things kicked off, one of these zombies suddenly just sort of fell apart like a bunch of Jenga blocks, and its head rolled off its body and floated into the air. Its flesh peeled off of its skeleton, started flapping and flopping about, and that skeleton got its bony claws and started scaling the walls and the ceilings. So, and then another one, came as backup. So yeah, you've seen some shit, and we are now find ourselves standing here. Vorden has got his torch. So that should be visible. That's visible for everyone, isn't it? Vorden's aura. So we've got the 20 feet of bright light, and is it not?
I do not see Vorden's aura.
Oh, okay, so maybe when Paddy put it on, it was just maybe it's only visible to. Maybe it's only visible. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, he didn't have it clicked on. Okay, cool. So can you see it now?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so that effectively, obviously you're not going to be able to see through the walls, but wherever within reason, that light is spreading. Might not spread around corners quite that efficiently, but more or less. Just move Vorden into the middle so that it's it's spreading evenly. Yeah, so
My OCD gland thanks you.
same. I'm like, I can't have that. Yeah, so what are we doing?
Can I hear any noises after beating up these freaky ass zombies? Do I hear anything more coming?
Give me a perception check.
Let's see. First roll. Be good.
No, where are you?
Seven.
No, it's same as before. Sort of very eerily quiet. The city is at this point quite far above you, and it's particularly in the drains where you live, which is very overcrowded, densely overpopulated. It's being a sort of a something of a slum. It's strange when you get used to that just background noise. So it's unnervingly quiet. It's a little too quiet.
I'm just gonna whisper to Navani and be like, "Hey, is this what we're looking for? Is that the crypt there? Please say yes. Please say yes."
Andy wants to have gone back a couple of steps to that corridor that she passed as the fight started,
Sure.
under duress from Jurl.
Under duress, yeah.
Under duress, and have a little bit of a peek.
Yeah.
To
Let me
see.
get my reveal tool that hardly ever seems to want to work. I'll just to indicate that where there are turns, I'll kind of maybe a little bit more than you would technically be able to see, but you can see that it's kind of going around a corner.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. I think Vorden would probably have to actually.
Jesus Christ!
You okay?
Yep. Vorden's wine is everywhere. Is all I'll say.
Oh.
Hopefully the mouse won't stop working this time.
Okay, you go. Okay, do you need a?
I'm gonna kill that cat. Oh my god.
Ember is spilled.
Ember is gonna
wine.
die in real wine.
Yeah. Do you need you need to take 5?
No, you can go on. I have you in the earphones. I'm just gonna grab a cloth.
Cool. Just actually, I'll do that now. We can assume that Vorden might have taken up a light source, but yeah, again, because it's dark down here. It's darkness. So then, obviously, even with it's difficult to see. So you would need light. But that's you can see. Obviously, this section is looping back around.
By the way, did Navani answer my question about is this the coffin that we're looking for?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Obi-Wan.
I'm gonna walk up to it. Do I? Well, not walk all the way up. I'm thinking we should probably get somebody to check for traps.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the girl gone?
Apologies, I thought that was a rhetorical joke on Pouch's part. Because you can see it is a very simple wooden coffin.
Once Andy had peeked up and down, she's not going any further than that on her own after seeing what she just saw. So she is going to have.
I'm just gonna pull out a little strand of wire and be like, Andy, where did you go? And I'm gonna cast message.
Andy, at that point, it's going to have come up just behind you and say, "What? I'm right here."
Dural is having consumed so much media, knows of the trope that nobody ever looks up. So he does nothing but look up. Now that it has been, that we have seen things crawl on the ceiling and the walls, he's obsessed with it. He's not really watching where he's going, and he's constantly looking up at the ceiling.
Yeah, Doral spent that whole fight, punching up at a skeleton on the ceiling.
Do I notice this?
It's up to you.
If you're if you're observing Doral, he's presumably going to be
Cool. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just like whisper the incantation for Mage Hand and have it crawl across the floor and up Doral's leg and see how much that freaks him out.
That was a bit of a line dancing move and kept. Ah!
And you just see like the normal like purple spectral hand that I create.
Yeah, if there was a chair, he'd do the the Tom and the owner in Tom and Jerry routine up on the chair.
Your concentration on that spell might just fizzle in a moment.
Like Patches will like just chuckle and be like, Andy, Navani was looking for you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wasn't doing anything, I swear.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we'll believe that.
Question: This doesn't
hang
look
on.
like this is a simple coffin, right? This is just.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. Sorry, I just realized Doral's token isn't there for some reason.
I think it's under
Sorry,
Vorden.
Navani.
Under N, I think.
Sorry, Oh.
Sorry, mate.
that was
Sorry,
my
I thought I
fault.
fucked up.
Oh, it's all good.
So
So
Navani,
look-
it is.
if
Yeah,
I look
at
at
a
this
glance.
coffin,
Mhm.
does it look like there would be something worth stealing in it? Because it's actually a coffin and not just like a niche in the corridor. But does it look rich enough to be like a necromancer's thing that would have like cool, valuable stuff in it?
Well, Navani and Andy, looking at it, it is a simple wooden coffin, very pine. It's like a pine box in,
It's
something
not.
of a casket kind of shape.
So what you're
So-
saying is we found wood.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there something about
I mean, there was some gold in
like
the.
marble
alcoves.
statues and we had to set the statues on fire, and then there was like rings of oil and we had to say a prayer and we get lucky? Isn't that what we're looking for? Isn't that the necromancer's grave?
Yeah, this is not what we're looking for.
That was
I-
incidental. That wasn't the tomb. That was just like somewhere down here. There might be these altars.
I feel
And-
like this isn't it. So I would advise let's carry on.
But I have a crowbar, so we could crack it open just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, but you can get it on the way back up.
Or
you might want to keep whatever's in there.
Maybe
In
the
there.
necromancer is like pretending, and like this is his like I'm slumming it with the lowdowns because I'm a necromancer and I'm crafty that way.
I'd say it doesn't sound
I'm-
like him. Doesn't sound like
I'm
him.
just gonna point this out and say there's a dead body in there. Let's not give it a chance to attack
Exactly.
us like the others.
That's what I'm
but-
thinking.
I really want to open the box.
You can get it on the way back.
Do you promise?
Yeah, why not?
This is like Minehelm is a Christmas tree, and this catacomb underneath the Christmas tree is just full of presents for Andy, and she wants to just tear open these crypts and these coffins. And
I
What's
suggest
a-
that we
it's
get
a
all of
present for
them,
me.
all of them on the way back up. Like, we. I don't know
gonna,
what.
like,
Okay. If you promise that we can come back and I can open the box and see what's inside, and you promise, like no take backsies promise, then okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right
I
here,
will
I summon 5 foot of 5 foot squared of hard to pass terrain.
Yeah. Doral
I'm just gonna
goes
like
with his hand
move
and
down
the-
and peek down these two.
Now, I will say that
Should
Doral
we
and
not take a
Andy,
short
it's
rest?
it's probably getting a little bit difficult to see now because it's tricky because the aura, that's dim light, but it's probably it's not going to be shining around the corner like that necessarily.
Doral's
Sorry,
a dwarf. He gives.
I was trying to move my token on
Oh
the
yeah,
Twitch
Doral's
screen.
fine. No, yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just saying, just if you were,
So I'm just
about
gonna
to
like take a
observe
little
something.
peeky peek up these two corridors and see what.
Yep. Let me just.
Then not seeing anything, I'm gonna just move forward a little bit more.
Oi. Wait up.
Yeah. Stop worrying.
Now, this casket looks a little fancier than the other two. It's it's still wood, but it has some carving on it, and it has a little purple runner, like a little cloth kind of on top. And the corners of it, it kind of goes, it's raised a little bit, and then it's like at the edges there are little little wooden little things carved into the wood. Looks like like a like a dragon's head, or it could be a griffin. It's difficult to tell. It's old, and it's small.
So Andy is going to have pushed up to Navani and then be like, just chink into the room, be like, "Can I open this one?"
Just give us a minute here. Do I detect any kind of like evil presence from it?
Are you using your divine sense to
Yeah.
locate undead creatures and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so if you mark off a use of
What's a
divine
spell
sense,
slot? Is it?
Can I whack the top of the crypt with my crowbar?
How many of these do I get?
you can in a second. Let me just double check. I think it might be equal to like wisdom or charisma.
Charisma.
You can do it, and you can do it a number of times equal to 1 plus your charisma mod. So what's that going to be like?
My
4?
charisma.
What's your charisma?
3.
Yeah, so you'd be able to do it 4 times. You've used it once, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you get it back on a long rest, so you've got 3 more.
Okay, so
if
1 of 4.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you're using it now, you'll have 2 left. I don't know if that's
I
on
used
the
it.
Roll20 sheet or not.
It's not. I'm going to keep a track of it now, though, because I did use it up in the upstairs. I remember that now, and it only lasts for how long again? It's a minute.
It's like 6 seconds. It's 6 seconds because
Right.
it's like a ping. So I think it will be like you do it, and it's just almost like it sends out a little
you do
like a little pulse. So
Okay.
let me just, if you're using it, let me just double check one thing. Because I know it locates fiend, celestial, undead, but just 1 second. And I think you can tell desecrated or consecrated ground.
I can, yeah.
So as you do it, you're getting a similar sense as you got upstairs, but a little bit stronger, which is, like there are areas around here which would have been, consecrated because they're burial grounds. But what Judge Magister Mornstar said, kind of seems to be ringing true in that, like, these aren't now, they're not now like desecrated, but something is a bit, it's like there's a kind of a sickness in the air, it's like something is almost dampening that energy, it's kind of tainting things around here a bit. So, but you do the coffin, the slightly more ornate one. Oh, well, it is more ornate. The other's very simple. There's something, you're not quite sure what it is. It's there is some sort of an energy signature coming off it. Will you give me a religion check?
Yes. What do I get? I've popped chat out, so 18. Yeah.
You're not. It seems like it might be cursed. You're getting the energy of a curse from that direction. So not that it's like desecrated, it was consecrated, so it's, there's this sort of energy about it, because it takes you a moment, because obviously the divine sense doesn't, detect, it doesn't tell you, oh, there's a curse over there like it would, there's an undead, or the place is desecrated.
Yeah.
But a combination of that, the kind of ping and the echo that came back to you, you sort of search your mind and your training and things that you've heard. You've never encountered one before, but if you would put your money on it, you'd think that it sounds a lot like what you've read about curses, this sort of energy signature, divine energy signature.
Cool. So right, I'm gonna turn around to Andy and say, just don't touch it. It's bad news.
Is this before or after I whacked it on the top with the crowbar?
Well, did you say you were doing that?
She did, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
she was going.
I'm gonna
do
grab
it.
her by the scruff of the neck and pull her back before she does anything else. I'm gonna say, don't touch it. Leave it alone.
Navani and Andy, will you just quickly do an initiative roll? Just want to see
I
if,
shouldn't have said anything.
because you both told me at the same time that you were gonna this was your intention.
I got a 6.
Oh. I also got a 6.
Oh wait, no, you got a 6.
No,
I got
Andy
a
did.
13. Sorry.
Yeah, because Navani was in there first, and she kind of does the thing, and then as it comes back, Andy's walking up with a crowbar. No.
Okay.
Navani,
What? Okay, I won't open it. But is this not the necromancer either?
No, and it's not good. And I don't think we should open any of these boxes in case, unless you want to curse. It's up to you.
No, it could be the necromancer. You don't know, but
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think.
Can I examine one of whatever? So, if not the coffin, what are these little?
Sorry, they're just little. Not little, but they're like candelabras.
Oh,
they're
okay.
not lit. There are candles in them. There's 2 purple wax candles in each one. But they're like standing ones. So they come to about eye level, about 5.5, 6 feet off the ground.
Andy will put her crowbar back, in the loop she keeps it on.
Forden is Blaze is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
I just say we scout the place first.
Shouldn't have given that priest my wine.
No, you shouldn't have. Would have steadied your hand, I'd say.
Yeah, the torchlight is
Yeah.
someone else hold this fucking thing.
What do you guys think? Do you think you want to take another look around?
Search every nook and cranny, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much. And then if we don't find anything else, we'll just try and open this guy.
Okay.
What do you, Dural, Pouches? What do you think?
Are you aware there could be stuff on the ceiling?
You just keep an eye on the ceiling there for us and shout if you see anything.
Will do.
At this point, I'm going to cast. I'm going to say, if you give me 10 minutes, let me just make sure I have this spell. If you give me 10 minutes, I can probably decide if this is a necromancer's tomb. And I'm going to just begin muttering the words to detect magic as a ritual spell. Just sit in the corner and be like, do, 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 do.
Forden is fine. He kind of puts his back to the wall and is kind of... he keeps looking back and forth between the 2 coffins in the side rooms,
Can we take a short rest? Would anybody else be up for a short rest?
Short rest would certainly help me.
Yeah, it would help me too. Yeah. So while we're doing that, Pouches can... So we just spend a hit dice, is it? No?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can burn hit dice then.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm rolling for initiative here. I'm ready for a fight.
Andy actually didn't take any damage in the last fight, so Andy is just is probably sat down playing with a coin, doing that thing where you move it over your fingers and disappear it and then reappear it and stuff, while staring occasionally back at the kind of slightly richer looking coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Totally not tempted.
Totally tempted. She's a little magpie, isn't she? She just
yeah. Once each of you, once you've rolled your hit dice, there's no rush, but would everyone give me a perception check?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun,
sorry, I'll roll for a warden.
Perception check.
Perception. Where are you? Perception.
Dora really knows what's on that ceiling.
Oh man, I see nothing. Get all the bad rolls out of the way. 6.
Doral.
What Will Wheaton has been doing his entire life.
Yeah.
Getting all the bad rolls out of the way.
And yeah, Andy, at a certain point, sorry. So all of you start like just over the course of the the rest, and you're walking around, all of you hear something in your head. There's you hear whispering voices, multiple voices, but it's too faint to make out what they're saying. You're just hearing, just every so often. Sometimes when your thoughts go quiet, you can sometimes hear this in the back of your head, and then it will go away. But Andy, Doral's like looking down the corridor and periodically kind of like looking up, and then as you look down, you're looking straight down the corridor. And then as you go to look up, just like here, sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry. Just here.
Okay.
You see something flit behind a corner. You see this like spectral image, like a translucent image of something freaking humanoid, just like disappears behind a corner. And then Andy, you happen to look down the corridor at this at the same time, and you see this like, but it's very faint. You see more like a flash of like like a glow, because you're very far away.
What in the name of Morden's beard was that floating translucent? Oh, gee. I need out of here. Now. Let's go. We're all leaving. Come on.
You see it. You see it when you saw it for a split second. It looked like a human. And then it's like you see, but it's almost like after it's gone, there's like an image in your mind, like a snapshot. Like your brain just like took a photograph of it. It's just seared into your memory. You can see this. If it was like a still image of this ghost, like a ghostly figure passing by, and it looks like a farmer, just like a commoner, some kind of country peasant, but dragging behind it an incongruously ornate sword, like this like very well made, very ornate looking sword on this ghost farmer.
Come on, folks, wrap it up. Back to the barracks. I can't punch ghosts. Let's go.
But the ghost is in our way. If we go that way, Daryl, you're going to have to punch the ghost. So maybe we should wait for it to mosey on its way.
Although when my detect badger comes up, do I see anything?
Did it have anything good looking on it?
So
it had a fucking great big sword.
We should find its coffin.
So after the 10 minutes, Pouches, give me just let me see 1 second. Did I really sorry guys, I'm looking
Chat says Annie needs to roll a wisdom save to keep her hands off the coffin during the short rest.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was looking in the wrong place. I was looking in the wrong place in my notes. Yes, there is magic.
What school is it?
Inside the coffin. I want to say evocation, but let me just double check something. Sorry, guys. Just want to. Let me just. Yeah, it's it's not. You'd say evocation. It has something of that signature, but it doesn't feel like an it's not the same as like there's an identifiable spell on this casket, and the spell is evocation. There's something magical inside, and it smells a bit like It smells like evocation. Whatever's given off the scent.
I'm trying to remember if I get a rough shape of the object. Like, can I see through walls with this shit?
Ben, I assume you'll tell me if the lodestone starts it's vibrating. I don't have to like ask to do checks the whole time. Savage. Okay.
Every so often, during the rest, you notice Ember seems to want to peep out and look at what you guys are doing.
What shape do I see? Because it says detect magic says if you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. So what shape does this aura give me?
But the source of the magic isn't visible because it's inside the coffin.
Yeah, but what I can it can penetrate 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. I doubt the coffin is 3 feet thick.
That's all good. Little faint aura. It's very small. It's sort of oblong. It looks suspiciously like the size of a potion.
Okay. So it looks like a potion.
Vial.
Okay.
You know what? You've been around enough alchemists. You know.
I'm just going to say that the only thing in here is there's a potion in this coffin. It's definitely not the necromancer. There's no necromantic magic in this area.
We'll have at it then, but you don't detect anything off like...
I don't detect any like curses or anything like that.
Okay.
Fuck me, y'all are pretty calm for there being ghosts walking about with swords that nobody can punch.
Oh, all I saw was the flashy thing. I don't even know if it was a ghost.
So it's blocking our way. We're going to have to try and fight it anyway. But I know the best way.
Has your world image not been rocked by the fact that ghosts are a reality?
No.
Andy has climbed up and is kind of sitting cross-legged on top of the coffin while we're short resting. So she's going to like slap her hands down on top of it and say, so maybe if we have to get through a ghost, right, there could be something in this bad boy that would help.
Potentially.
I was thinking bad boy. As soon as you slapped it, I was thinking that you could fit so many curses in this bad boy.
I'm just going to let Andy do what she wants.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
Pouches and Andy unsupervised is a dangerous combination.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, but sometimes, I get tired.
I feel like Pouches and Andy could, like in a day, they could conquer Minehelm, but then they would burn the city down and just like lose it all, and they,
Okay, look. Well, we need to be prepared for this thing. We need to fight it. So,
Andy's gonna hop up, bends down onto the ground, and like pull her crowbar back out, and be all like, "Yeah, ready, yeah."
I'm just gonna shrug and leave the room.
Don't go! Don't leave me!
Don't leave the whole place. Let's go. Are you with me, Pouches? I'm going to the barracks. Fuck this. I'll fight the Goliath on my own.
I'm just gonna chuck out Doro and be like, Doro, you're so silly.
So Andy, you yeah.
Yep. Try to crack that bad boy open.
There's some of the wood splinters. It wasn't really like it wasn't secured, but obviously it's heavy, some kind of heavy wood, and it splinters. And as the lid of the coffin falls off, open it, and inside you see Where is my... So, 1 second. Now, we've got some... Excuse me, I need to roll some dice.
Oh no.
There is... Sorry, folks. Just bear with me a moment. There are... So you see 9 gold pieces. Um, 9 gold pieces. 21 silver pieces. And 9. Sorry, I should have got. Oh, hold on. Did I? 1 second. Oh, sorry. And 62 copper pieces. You also find gemstones inside.
Ooh.
Worth about 21 gold pieces. And then there is in there a looks to be worth about 27 gold pieces is a let's see, 5 1 2 3 4 5. Oh, fitting. There is a on top of a skeleton with its arms crossed in the coffin is a wooden death mask with mirrors for eyes. Looks to be worth about 27 gold pieces. And as your eyes light up at all this glinting treasure, you feel something
Uh-oh.
sweep over you. And let me just roll here. 2. So, Andy, suddenly as you open it, it's like being hit by like almost like radiation or something. Something like you open it and there's a split second of joy. You see all this glinting, and it's like you catch a reflection in the mirrored eyes of the death mask, you know. And as you catch a reflection, you like just this wave of lethargy sort of sweeps over you, and you feel your muscles become weakened. So for the next 4 hours, you deal only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength, which is good for you. But you also have disadvantage on strength checks and saving throws for the same duration. So for 4 hours, you're going to have disadvantage on strength checks and saving throws, as is something like you feel your muscles, just all the strength go out of them, as you are cursed for 4 hours.
Okay, so since she feels that, she won't do what her first initial reaction was going to do, which was going to be to pick up the mask and like hold it up and go like, but since she felt what she felt, she's probably going to just leave that alone. Yeah, I think so. Can she though pick up the coins and the gemstones and stuff?
Yeah.
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 And also the mask. She's just not going to put the mask on her face.
Yeah, you pick up the mask. You don't feel like any. You don't feel it sap your energy any, more than it already is or anything. It just feels like lacquered wood.
So while I'm pocketing the coins into a pouch or whatever, I'm going to kind of hold the mask out towards where Navanian pouches are and be all like, you guys want this? Weird and creepy and sort of, I don't know, magical maybe.
I'm going to take it.
There's no magic.
I'd like to take it.
No magic coming
no,
off
you're
it.
not. No, you're not.
No,
I'm not
no
giving
magic.
this
No magic coming off it.
thing to you. There's no way.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just going to use it to scare Dural.
Yeah, no. I obviously I try and grab that before Pouches gets near it. Do I have an idea of what it is?
Well, give me a religion check.
Religion check. Okay.
Did I see Andy take the potion out of there?
Oh,
I didn't
God.
find a potion, did I?
Sorry, I got caught up with the rolling the loot tables that I designed that took forever to roll. Sorry, Andy. Yes, there is a potion in there. It looks like a healing potion. I'd say with detect magic, you would get a sense that it's not the basic. It felt a bit more potent to you, Pouches. So it's a potion of greater healing. For a potion of healing, you can take a sip to identify it anyway. So I'm not going to go through the rigmarole of, of that. But it's a potion of greater healing. And Ivani, it doesn't seem to be anything. It doesn't look like this mask is generating the curse. You'd guess it was probably just disturbing the grave. That it was probably opening the the casket without permission, effectively. But it's just it's a death mask. It's just like a funerary practice.
Okay.
Not everyone's going to do it, but there are some families where it's still a tradition. Certain families, it's back a long way. You're not really sure of the origin of it, but death masks were a thing. There was a particular point in the history of Minehelm where they were. To be honest, it was more like in a sort of a Victorian sense. It was almost kind of more fashion than anything,
Yeah. So
nobles.
I'm just gonna kind of like toss it back in. The thing's still open, I'm imagining.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I just want to fling it back in to the where it was and just say, right, okay, let's stop getting distracted. We need to make tracks and find this necromancer. And then I'm going to start walking this way and look for that specter thing that is in our way.
I'll follow.
I have my shield out, by the way, and like I'm kind of in defensive mode.
Borden's kind of creeping along, stuck between the grave robbing and the ghost, and he's kind of just like.
So,
punch me, but I'll tell you what, that shield will be of no use. You're looking awful brave for some idiot walking down towards ghosts with swords.
Yeah, well, it's not bad on
as they start to leave
from these perfume stinking fucking cave gherkins.
I wish I had perfume.
As they all start to leave, Andy's kind of like looking between them and back to where the mask got thrown down, and then back to them and back at the mask. And if chat wants to tell me, does Andy take the mask with her or not?
Yes.
Maybe the first person to comment whether she should take it or not will rule whether Andy takes the mask again and hides it in her pocket. And not the same pocket that Ember's in, though, just to...
Just put it on the cat. Be great.
Okay, we have a nay, so...
Boo.
Rockredex got in first with a nay, so...
Deranged Reno said, what do you say, bolt the mask on? But, yeah.
I feel like the rest of chat disagrees with Rockred. Because it's like, nay, and they're like, three, like, take the mask, take it.
Should I go with majority rules or first past the post?
Also, Carrick says, emojis aren't words.
Oh,
it was an emote. I think I might recognize the username, the nay.
Yeah, I wonder who that is.
Okay. Andy's taking
Selection is rigged.
Andy has retrieved the mask and is taking it with her. I'm going to go with majority rules.
Okay.
I'm off to find this ghost.
Off to find the ghost.
So you hear a little pitter patter of feet running up the corridor after you.
Yeah, Vorden is it's again. Well, maybe the light will scare it off.
Where
He
did it
starts
go?
making his
Was
way
it
behind?
down this way?
Doral saw it flit around this corner, so it around here. You know, it ducked behind this corner.
Okay. You see anything?
Nope.
Right. Okay. Is there anything like might go down this way? Is that a
Yeah,
dead end?
sure. No, it was just at the time we didn't have light on it, so just let me.
Bring Borden up.
Yeah. Actually, someone else can move Vorden if they want to position him anywhere in particular. I'm just gonna.
I can't move him, but he's.
Yeah. Sorry.
Normally, he's usually behind me anyway. So.
Yeah. So he so as he's kind of he's moving up. More of this is so this would be darkness, but if he shuffles up a bit, he'll kind of move down here, so you see that much,
Okay.
and a little bit of this. You could see.
Oh, it's getting bigger. I didn't just say
That's what she
that.
said.
That's what she said.
Guys, come on. We're
Christ.
talking about the map.
Signed up for Lord of the Rings, got Monty Python.
Sometimes it's okay.
So, he's
just remember, Dural. Just remember, Dural, you're a natural born sprinter.
What are you talking about? I'm a cross country runner.
Okay, so I want to walk down here then.
With
Down
Navani.
here.
No,
With
like
Navani, plunging ahead into the catacombs for Doral. This is quite literally the an elf would go underground, but a dwarf dare not. Never heard the end of it. So
yeah, I would imagine that there would have been a lot of like spirits and stuff in the dwarven mines. Like
they tend to try to keep them out,
It is actually quite strange that the dwarf doesn't like being underground, but yeah.
Well, maybe the ones that got trapped in the cave-ins, maybe.
I was about to say who amongst us would be strong enough to toss Dural, and then I realized pouches could catapult him. So
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's coming. I'm going to use Dural as an improvised weapon soon.
Going to do a speedball special. Turn Dural into Wolverine. So you got to turn the Titan hand into 3 little like claws of rock.
Before those semantic components are spoken and your fucking hands wave, you'll get an awful right hook.
So
Rignag.
Was Andy, before Navani went in, was Andy trying to peer around here?
She just was kind of wandering that direction. Yeah.
Well, before Vorden took the torchlight down here, it has since kind of gone dark for you now.
Yeah.
Before he pulled the torchlight away, over here, around the corner, you saw a little something white, maybe like a leaf, poking out from around the corner.
Like a ghost leaf.
Does
it look like that?
Give me a perception check.
Did it look like the picture the old woman had drawn us about the grave flowers?
Give me a perception check.
Where's perception? There you are. At least it wasn't a kid on a little scooter.
Yeah. Well,
Kid on a bike.
Yeah. Even even though she said, "Oh, apologies for the crudeness of the drawing," old what should I call it, Lady old Willow Winthrop is a very good artist because it looks exactly like what she drew.
Okay, so Andy is going to have moved forward to try and pick it up, and then just before she does, she goes, "Oh yeah, no touch, no touch." Okay, and then she's going to go back.
Yeah, it's dark anyway. Yeah.
And it's dark now, and she's going to be like, "Navani, there's one of them flower thingies with the for the lady."
Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll grab it on the way back then.
We're grabbing everything on the way back.
Yeah, because we don't want to be weighed down with stuff while we're fighting the necromancer. I need you to be nimble and be able to move around and do your thing. So
I'm nimble. I'm quick. Like a fox.
I don't. Did I call it willowweed?
it was willowweed.
Okay.
Can't catch the cat. The cat's too fast.
I'm gonna be like, just show me where it is. I'll get it.
It's just down there around the corner.
Yeah.
So down there, and I'm just gonna use my mage hand and a knife and just go to town.
So yeah, you see, because it is still obviously it looks like dim light for you, obviously in the darkness with the dark vision. But you can see it well enough, and particularly everything is mostly one shade of grey down here, but this is obviously picked out a little bit in lighter tones. Because she said it's pretty hardy. It takes a little bit of cutting, but you pull free from the roots, and you see these blood red roots.
She gave me something to contain them in, didn't she?
She said just stick it in a bag.
Okay, yeah.
Just wrap it up in whatever you can.
Okay, yeah, cool, nice. As much as this as we can get people, as much as we can get.
I'll grab it all.
Yeah, take it all.
Just. Oh, hang on. Sorry, my headphones shut themselves off. Sorry.
Love when that happens.
Sorry. Okay.
Quick, guys, talk about Ben while.
Yeah.
Did that annoying thing where they just shut themselves off. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. What the fuck is this not? Oh, sorry. I was just sorry. I just wanted to delete the thing I had for the willowweed in case we looped around and I
forgot it was there.
Hey, you find another one.
It was even more. He had health potions for all.
Yeah. So who does Andy have the potion of greater healing?
No. Navani took that,
it?
didn't he? Oh, from the coffin.
Yeah.
Oh no, I would have chucked that over to Pouches so he could do his, tell us what it is thing.
I would have given it back.
I'm just wondering, so we know,
who has what.
Yeah,
so
I would have given it back to. Yeah.
I have a potion of greater healing.
Mm-hmm. And I have a sack of willowweed root.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because obviously for the most part, obviously it's a little bit, imperfect here, but obviously your characters, seeing people grabbing stuff will probably have a more concrete idea of who has what. So I just want to keep track of it because if we're in the heat of something and someone's like, who has a potion?
How many pounds of this do I get?
Question. I would say.
It would have been hilarious if we got into a fight. I was like, "Who took the potion?" And it's like, "I gave it to you." And it's like, "No, I gave it back. I put it down." And it's like, "I thought you took it."
When you really need it.
I'm trying to think. It can't. I mean, I feel like the weight is going to be pretty negligible because it's mostly leaves and a few dangling roots. It's out where it's sprouting. It's probably 4 or 5 leaves about that long. They're kind of like dandelion leaves, so it's very light. It's pretty negligible weight. It's a few leaves essentially.
Cool.
It's not. Yeah.
I'm gonna then move back and rejoin everyone.
Yeah,
Did I see anything further down this corridor?
So yeah, you I suppose you probably would have
Dark vision.
yeah, at least kind of, obviously you can make out that it's similarly it seems to be kind of curling around. I mean, depends on whether you walked up or not.
Well, I'm gonna go back and rejoin everyone.
Cool.
See what they're doing.
So
Just gonna be like, I got your willow weed. Just say that to Navani.
I'm chatting away here. Sorry. I said you hang on to that, and we'll give it to the woman. She might be able to make us more potions if we need them. And I might pay her back as well for being so kind, just to give us at least one. Do I see anything in that room that I've walked into?
it is mostly featureless stone,
Okay.
grey stone, more of these loculi, little alcoves with bones in them,
Right.
humanoid remains. But at the moment, it looks much the same. Nothing that really catches your eye.
It splits in two, does it?
It does, from what you can see. Yeah.
Can I hear
Okay,
anything?
cool. On your left.
Give me a perception check.
14.
14. I'd say you think there might, so from this direction, so sort of around this corner, if you can see, so down and to the right on the map, you think you hear some kind of shuffling, maybe every so often, just hearing a sort of a
like a squidgy footstep sound, or like
more of a dry foot, yeah, or sort of a, yeah, like a maybe like footsteps in dust.
Okay. I'm gonna turn around to the guys and I'm gonna be like, I think there's something in here. I think there's something in here. So I'm gonna make my way slowly down to it, to where I hear that shuffling.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have to interrupt for an important announcement. We've reached a very important number on the Kickstarter. On
Yeah?
the notification. 169.
Wow, nice. Very important number indeed.
Yeah.
That's brilliant though. Like, I mean, that's almost double what we had this afternoon, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I saw we were about like 95 when I checked around like lunchtime. I don't know, like 6-7 hours ago. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So remember, people, share it with your friends, your family, your enemies, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, especially your enemies. We want to scare the bejesus out of them. You know,
we definitely do.
D&D. So yeah, Warden is just following along behind with the torch.
Yeah, I'm just like following Big Sis.
As he moves down a little bit, you can see. Oh my god, it never seems to want to do the reveal for me.
Solo says, "Let me know when it's 4:20," and I agree. That's the most important number of all.
Yeah, you can see that, down this direction that it's obviously it's branching off again from where you are. You can roughly see, for the most part.
Okay, I'm going to continue until down to the end here.
Yeah. So,
Andy's just going to lean into Durrell when we're at the back of the pack and say, "So, any more ghosts?"
I don't know, but the ceiling's clear at least.
And Andy's going to kind of look up at the ceiling and then look back at Duro and kind of smile and then walk away after the rest of the group.
Weird.
So I think some pouches probably 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Sorry, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 56. Yeah, so you would see to the end there as well. You know, you can kind of which way?
Suppose down here. Or before I move, can I do another like perception check to see if I hear anything else?
Sure.
No, I don't.
No, you can't locate the footsteps you heard earlier.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'm gonna walk down here.
Yeah. 2 seconds. So walking down here. So you can see that the corridors at either end here are curving. Are round. They're turning. You can't see what's around the corner, but they are turning.
Okay.
Warden starts moving along.
So let's go this way then.
This place is some kind of ridiculous maze.
It is a huge maze, isn't it? It's massive.
So
that's actually what
Navani,
Andy mutters as she follows the group again.
Yeah.
Having gone, she went down this way a little bit to have a look, and then as the light moved away, she kind of followed back. She's like,
yeah. With Navani walking up that way, Vorden peers around here, and what both of you see, he goes, "Oh, fuck." Staircases going down in 2 different directions.
This seems more like it.
down we go.
Down we go.
Andy does her best impression of a creepy voice, which probably actually isn't all that creepy at all.
Pouches and Durrell coming along, or?
Yeah, I'm following along.
Okay.
So we've chosen the left staircase or the western staircase?
That's, yeah.
Okay, so everyone, just before you go down, everyone give me a perception check, please.
$18.
15.
$12.
Okay.
Well done to Durrell.
Navani, as you
Ceiling's still clear.
Yeah, Navani, before you stepped onto the staircase, you look around just to make sure everyone's behind you. You know, everyone's still there. And you look in Vorden's direction. Eyes kind of go a little wide. Vorden just says, "What?" As you can see, just a couple of feet behind, just right behind Vorden, is the ghost of what looks like an old farmer. And he's just clutching a sword, an ornate, glinting sword on his shoulder, and he's just staring at the back of Vorden's head.
That's creepy. I say,
What?
Vorden, watch out!
What?
Behind
Turns
you!
around. As he turns around, you blink and the ghost is gone.
Okay, I've seen it. I've seen what Durrell was talking about.
And with that, let's take a little break.
Ooh, exciting.
So we're just gonna have intermission. Will be 10 minutes, unless anybody needs longer.
No, 10 minutes should be
Cool.
good.
So we will, intermission for 10 minutes. See you guys soon. If you're liking it, please subscribe. If you can, it really does help us out. So yeah, we'll see you soon, and spook these fools. Right. Welcome back, everyone. You have returned, and the ghost has left. So, yeah.
We scared him away.
Yeah, Navani gave him the big sis look. So yeah, Vord turns around. You blink, and ghost is gone. Everyone else kind of turns to look at what Navani was staring at, and there's nothing there.
I'm just, I can't believe I just saw that there was a farmer standing right behind Warden. It was a ghost.
I see.
Yeah.
It was definitely a farmer. Maybe that's a bit rude, but he looked a bit country. Let's put it like that.
Bit of a
Yeah,
culty.
It was the kind of like, granddad collar shirt and suspenders and sleeves rolled up.
Did he have a sword
bit
on
of
him or anything?
But he had a sword which was like strangely like, ornate, nice looking. But yeah, he I should have said also you could see that he had a scar across his face, and there was blood on his face. Looked like he died violently.
Yeah, he didn't look so good either. So I think we should just be aware and keep moving.
And then just, you start again, just creeping in. Is that, yes, just voices drifting.
Can I hone in on any of that? No.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay, so you saw the ghost, Daryl, and you saw the ghost, Navani. And is anyone else hearing like
22
noises?
You
didn't want to seem like a crazy person, but I can hear some whispering in my head.
Oh, okay, it's not just me.
Hang on, sorry.
Multiple people can hear it. That's not relieving.
Sorry, guys.
Stevie Gibson in the chat is saying the ghost is going to TPK the party. He's Farmageddon.
Yeah, you pick out there's you hear red, you hear the name Adelaide, it sounds like at one point. You hear sun. You're not sure if that's SON or SUN. Sounded like someone was weeping at one point.
Can I tell them what
These are all-
direction the sound, or is it just everywhere and in our heads? Yeah.
It's in your head. And
Okay.
those were all it's difficult to tell if they were all one voice, different voices, or if every single one was it's mostly just incoherent and too low to discern anything.
Okay. Listen, I think we can all hear the voices. I don't know quite what they are, but I'm imagining they're the souls that reside in this place. So let's just be vigilant and keep moving. And I want to continue down the steps.
Mm-hmm. Ward will kind of move a bit closer to carry the light. I'm just going to very briefly just move you there for 1 second, Navani, because I'm just
no
gonna
problem. No
grab
problem.
everyone.
We're getting out of here.
What?
Somebody in the chat said, "Farmageddon out of here."
That sounds like what Dural wants to do right now.
Yeah.
The stat
So-
says he needs more fertilizer for his fields.
Yeah. So, give me just 1 second. I'm just gonna defog some of this next bit. And then I will transfer things over. Yeah, I'll. So, just okay. So Navani, Pouches, you were behind Navani, weren't you? Yeah. I don't want to bring everyone like right down, straight away. So I've got Doral is just kind of off to the side because I couldn't really fit everyone. Give me 1 second, and I will just want to reveal what you can see. Okay. And here we go. So, everybody there? Everyone see?
Yep.
Actually, I will
Yes.
actually have to move because actually, let me just reveal that one last square that Doral's in, so he can see himself. So you would be behind Andy, but I can't put you above the map,
No worries.
So we'll just slot you in behind. Yeah. You can see where it's branching off. And directly ahead of you is an open coffin in a little alcove to the side.
Dun dun dun.
Chat has asked if that is an open casket.
Is it? Yeah, that's an open casket. Yeah.
And Solo, yes, there is. Oh, courier option. What do you mean by courier option for the shipping of Mag of Holding on Kickstarter?
And so there is not currently.
Oh, yeah, no.
Sadly, no.
And is that a cost issue as well, Kyle? Like, just so we're not charging too much for shipping?
It's more of a we do it through a third-party provider, and they handle shipping.
Okay, yeah. So we don't really influence that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We could start using pigeons, but
You could.
Yeah.
There's a funny story about South African pigeons.
I'm not sure if I want to hear it.
It's not even bad. It's that our internet provider, this guy once made a bet that he could transfer a gig of data faster than our internet provider from like one town to another. And they were like, oh yeah, bring it on. So what they did was they started the file upload and he went and copied it onto a memory card and put it on a carrier pigeon.
No way.
And it won.
Oh my God, it's that bad.
Holy that bad.
Shit. Wow.
Oh God.
Interesting. Is it still that bad? Like,
it's gotten better.
No. But yeah, so let's take a little peek down here then, I suppose.
You're going sorry, was out of the map. You're going down this way. Yeah.
Do my spidey senses tingling yet?
Let me just, as you were going by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 28. So you'd see.
Oh,
This
okay.
goes
Sorry.
around.
Should really wait.
No. I was just that's as you peered around, as you walked by, that you would see that,
Yeah,
Um,
this place really is like a maze. It's huge. Right. What do you guys think? Should we go down this way or should we go left?
Well, let's see if this. I'll say let's keep going straight and see if any of these other corridors go further deeper down.
Okay, let's go then.
So as you peer around, you can.
When I got to where Vorden currently is, I'll move one square past. Is there anything interesting about the open coffin? Like, is there a body in it?
There is no body that you can see.
That you can see. Ominous
yeah,
words.
Yeah. No, there is no body, but there is a smattering of coins inside the coffin.
Well, I think we all know what happened then.
Yes, there. Okay, so 6 d8 d12. There's 6 gold pieces.
Chat's just
Only-
saying handy Andy again.
Yeah.
Andy,
so
Andy.
six gold, 5 silver, and oh shit, I forgot what I rolled on that. So and let me see, and 25 copper pieces.
35, did you say, or 25?
25.
25. Score. Yes, it is Andy's
make
favorite
so
kind of
many loot
casket.
tables.
No bodies, but lots of coins. So it's the best of all worlds.
Mhm.
Is Vorden following behind me? Or is he where he
Yeah,
is?
sorry, I just had to. He's kind of keeping sort of equidistant, between everyone. He doesn't want to leave anyone too far behind of the torchlight,
Yeah.
Because even in the darkness, those with dark vision are still going to have disadvantage on perception. So it would still be, it's still murky. So something could obviously, without bright light, could kind of spring out. It was still kind of on the back foot. So yeah, you can see that it is turning at you. There's another casket here.
Navani's not really interested in the caskets.
Yep.
Andy's going to have walked past, but she's going to have been muttering to herself, like, "You're not allowed to open the coffin." No.
Oh, wow. It's a long corridor.
Yeah.
Pouches is going down the opposite way. Is this a dead end here where I am? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to intercept him and jump out and go, boo!
I feel like Navani in heavy armor does not give me a fright.
Yeah, but you play along.
I'll be like, oh no, that was so scary.
Yeah. So in this room, you can see, I don't know how zoomed in everyone is, but on the walls,
Oh.
see, there are, they appear to be other loculi. They are holes in the wall. They're not as wide as the other ones, but they essentially have carvings around them. So there's like a hole in the wall, and different reliefs. They're largely the same. These reliefs of a face with like flowing hair, with sort of a scary face on it. The way like a gargoyle is, you kind of face it out to ward off evil spirits. Seems like that kind of thing. And in this hole, And this hole, you can see what looked like there in two of them there are bones and wrappings. In another one, there seems to be like a lump, which seems to be a mostly intact, wrapped body. And then in the one in the bottom left, there is looks like just wrappings. But I don't know if anyone is peering in to any of them.
Into a strange hole in the wall. No.
Just give me a second. Cracks knuckles.
I've watched
sorry,
Indiana
Amy.
Jones. I know what happens.
Yeah, Vorden actually.
Andy for sure is peering into one of those.
Vorden kind of comes around, this way with the light, and he will tell you that there are 4 more in the room that he's in, and also there is willow weed here.
I'll go gather that up.
Let me just.
So I'll use my mage hand again and just gather it so it doesn't get on my skin.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So there's 2 lots of willow weed. I don't know. Yeah, and sorry, Andy, you said, are you peering in?
Yeah.
Chat says it's how Andy finds traps, by triggering them.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the one that you're peering into, there are coins.
Yoink.
Reaching in,
Oh yeah.
Indiana Jones style, isn't it?
She may regret this,
Yeah.
but she is reaching in to the wicked cool looking statue.
You reach in your hand and you feel something cold and hard.
Oh,
It's a
Lord.
coin. It's a coin. So you find one
Carry on
gold piece.
dungeon delving.
Yeah, you find 1 gold piece, 4 silver pieces, and 5 copper pieces. Not a good pull. not a good loot drop.
And so, other than finding the coins, nothing actually happened to Andy's hand.
Nope.
Okay, so she isn't going to have done that joke where she actually screamed and went, "Oh no, my hand!" or anything like that to the rest. I would, but Andy wouldn't. But she's going to now go around all these holes and stick her hand into them all because she has to.
You can peer in to cut it short in the bottom left one. You find sorry, the bottom left one. There is 1 gold piece again. There is 5 silver pieces and 7 copper pieces.
Andy, what the fuck?
And there was
You
nothing
weren't jingling when you came in here. What?
Jingle, jingle, jingle. These guys, they seem to be like, I don't know, maybe they used all the money to pay for the cool statues or something, but they're definitely not sending their people off with as
I've
good
ran out of money. I can't replace this shit. The karma's on you. I give the fuck up.
What's karma?
It's
You'll
the
find
chameleon
out.
of some kind.
Oh, okay. So Andy's skipping with a little jingle to her step after the rest.
Ember is sort of, listening, seems to be bobbing along to the jingle happily.
Chat says Andy, always sticking things in holes.
Yeah. Now, where to now, gang?
Well, have I finished harvesting?
You have.
Sweet.
You have.
So we definitely shouldn't open all these coffins we're passing, right? Navani?
I don't know if any of us can make that kind of statement. Sorry, you're muted, Michaela.
Sorry. I don't mind. Excuse me. I don't mind if you want to open them. But it's just I don't want anything slows down. We need to find this necromancer and drive the stake through his heart. So I want this finished as soon as possible.
Why didn't we think to bring a map? Maybe nobody
Because
mapped
there
it.
isn't one.
Probably isn't one. Well,
You would think somebody would have drawn a map of down here. Like,
that's a good idea, though, Andy. Maybe we should do that the next time. Get the blueprints.
Yeah, go to City Hall.
go to the library and get
Go to the library. Yeah.
Go to the library. Yeah.
I'm gonna just take a little peek down this corridor, see what I see. Just a little bob in and out.
So, okay, hang on. God damn it! Sorry, guys.
I make a marking on this wall, colored and somewhat flashing that lasts for an hour and points me back in the right direction. Right.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Is that the waymark cantrip thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Part of Mold Earth.
Oh, sorry, in Mulder. Yeah. So, Pouches, as you, sorry, I will say sorry before you head down there. Actually, because did you move past Navani or did Navani follow you behind?
I think she followed behind.
Okay, so as you're walking down, let me just briefly, just for a second. Everyone. So, will you give me, as you were walking, will you give me a perception check, Pouches?
I can do that. Let's hope it's good.
So while that's happening, this time when Andy
19.
Ooh.
Just sorry, Andy, just before Andy goes off, so if I could just move you back for a second. Before you take that final step around the corner, you see just a flash of movement and you hear something shuffle and you see like something basically staggering forward. You see staggering ahead.
Old Bull. Dun dun dun.
No, staggering ahead out of the sort of the dim murky light of the catacombs is this walking corpse, but not like the zombies. There is this humanoid, completely skinless and emaciated, but it's exposed musculature and bits of bone look they look dry. It's like a dried, some sort of beef jerky corpse, without any skin, but you can see all of the musculature and all of its tendons. And then as it rounds the corner, it looks at you and just with no eyelids, just eyeballs bulging out, a rictus grin as its whole mouth is just exposed. And you see its cheekbones poking out and you can hear its tendons sort of creaking, dry tendons, as it looks at you and holds out its hands. The bone on its fingertips protrudes through the flesh and have sharpened into claws, and it opens its mouth to like give this dry groan in your direction. And you can see its sharp canines as it's time to roll initiative as this ghoul rounds the corner. So let me just pull up the initiative tracker, but before I do that,
don't forget to click on your characters.
Yeah.
For
Thank
initiative.
you.
I hate when that happens.
Okay. I think is that the turn order from before? Did I not clear that? Or
I just rolled a 15 just now. Navani is 6.
Yeah.
7, Tram, Pouches, Scribe, 13.
Okay, so it did. Hang on. 18. So yeah, sorry. So you were still in there from before. So Andy got 15. So Right, that's the right one. Get rid of that one.
Oh, by the way, if you want your name to appear on the initiative list, you have to go onto your token and then the little gear and then put a name in that block.
Yeah. Dispatch 70, draw 7. Oh yeah, let me just roll for Vorden. Oh, 1.
Thanks for that.
So yeah. Okay, and nope.
Learning every day when it comes to roll 20.
So, sorry guys, just 1 second.
Okay.
Consult me notes. So, this is why I roll monster initiatives ahead of time, because just find it easier. Okay. So, first up is Andy.
So
No, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
the
First up,
monster.
yeah. God damn it. Layers. So. Right. So. Staggering out actually just around the corner when this one groans. Another one of these comes rounding the corner, and surprisingly, it actually had 7. Oh no! It sorry, excuse me. Yeah. Yes, it rounds the corner, and takes a swipe.
There's 2 of these
Pouches.
fuckers?
No, hang on. Sorry, that's my bad. They have.
Giggity giggity.
Yeah. No, he could actually only you can hear him and you see him, but I forgot he actually can't get that far. So you see this guy like run up and it's gonna dash, so it'll take its full movement to get to there, but it can't swipe. You just see it like staggering towards you, and there's 2 of them now coming down the corridor towards you as it is now. I think it should. Yeah, it's Andy's turn now. Sorry, guys.
So Andy is going to pull out her crossbow.
Yeah.
Which is a light crossbow, so I assume it's kind of like a small one. And she is going to kind of lean, like aim around her beloved. Whoa, whoops, sorry.
Okay.
This bodes well.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. I swear.
I'm laughing with your misfortune.
There we go. She's going to aim around Navani and Pouches, and she is going to shoot at Blue Giggity.
Yeah, it's tricky. I'm still going to give it half cover, so it'll have +2 to its AC.
Okay.
But it does seem a little bit slow.
So I'm adding the sneak in because Pouches is within range.
Yep.
So
And you do
22
get it.
to hit. So 9 damage altogether.
Nice. Yeah. So you fire out at this thing, and like peek around. You're like, "What the fuck is that?" And you peek around, and then seeing this thing like with its this emaciated, desiccated, skinless corpse. You're like, fuck, and shock, press the trigger, and it shoots right past. It doesn't even catch a hair of Navani's or Pouches, and it just punctures this thing in the eye. But even Pouches, you see as this thing's eye like explodes before you, even its eye is sort of dry. There's no glisten to it. There's no jelly. The eye seems to sort of like crumble and like dust comes out, and a thick bit of really coagulated eye jelly like splats on your cheek.
Ugh.
As this thing takes a crossbow bolt to the eye.
And I spend my turn trying not to rage.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna move from where she is. So that's Andy's turn.
Yep. Okay. Pouches. If this thing
Pouches does
still
not
had
want
its
to be.
yeah, if its salivary gland still worked, it would be salivating at the sight of you.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of there. I'm gonna move back to here.
Mm-hmm. Are you disengaging or just moving?
I'm just moving.
Okay. Miss, it's 3+, you know. Just.
And then I am going to cast Ice Knife at the front one.
So essentially you're just gonna like basically peer back out and yeah. So yeah.
So it needs.
6.
Oh, I need just to actually
Failed.
make a ranged spell attack. Hold on. Because
Yeah,
Ice
but-
Knife is one of those ones that does like 2 things.
Yeah, it hits the first target and then the surrounding ones make the deck save, is it?
No, it and the surrounding ones.
Okay, cool.
So 18 to hit.
That hits and it failed its deck save. I think the other one failed as well. Just let me double check. Oh no, the other one made it.
Okay, so
Just.
it takes 8 piercing and then 5 cold, and then the other one takes nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But as you hit, so Pouches is just like goes back, and this thing is like goes for your throat, and it you feel it like almost like grab your Adam's apple, like it was gonna pluck it like a fruit from a tree, and you manage to go back, but then you're like fuck, peer back, around, and you do a little semantic mode. You flick up, and then this little dagger made of ice just appears just above your fingertips. Throw it, and it spins towards this thing, and right in its other eye, it splats right in, and then you see frost start to spread across its head, and then its head explodes in a, like Sub-Zero just shot it in the head and smashed, and it drops dead, or drops deader.
And then as my bonus action, I'm just gonna look at Navani and be like, "Well, get it." And point at the other one.
Andy's gonna give you a clap when she sees that. Woo!
I'm pretty impressed.
If Pouches is doing anything else,
Nope, that's me.
it's Doral.
Did you put Vorden in?
I did. He is.
Cool.
He got a 1, didn't he?
He's. Yeah, it's Doral, Navani, this guy, Ghoul, and Vorden.
Cool. Let me see. I think I will just say pull your socks up and stamp my right foot onto the ground, and as it connects with the ground, a piece of stone flips up and I punch it mid-air, but don't connect with it, and it goes rocketing down the corridor towards this guy.
Nice.
Let me see. For some reason, my character sheet just freaked out for a moment there.
Right.
So that is an 11 to hit.
That is just misses. First time trying it out, first pitch, and it just used like, it's recently Jordal seems to have gotten these like powers, basically kicks it up this boulder, chunk of rock, so it's like goes past you, Andy, flies past your head, Navani, and this thing like kind of jerks and twitches at the last minute, and it just like a clod of earth smashes against the stone behind it, cracks form in the wall, but it just narrowly misses its head.
And I'm going to just move a little bit that way, and that's my turn.
Yeah. Navani.
Okay, so I am going to swing with my Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to run straight forward for it. and
Yep.
go for a hit.
Sure, go for it.
So. I got 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
And 6
That's a hit.
bludgeoning.
Okay, so
I only get 1 attack, right?
yeah.
6 bludgeoning, yeah, and then
Mhm.
like booming blade obviously is always on as well. So
Yeah. So it's same thing happens. You come in and you crack this thing across the jaw, and it cracks. Its head like goes nearly all the way around, and it's like, and you could feel it like there's all this energy sort of vibrating and popping around it, and it kind of like puts its head back and stares at you.
I think I only get 1 hit, right? So
You do, yeah.
yeah, sorry.
So,
So I should have moved up as well. So.
Yeah, it's great. I'll drop you there.
Cool.
You can obviously, if you want to try and move back, you can, or if you want to stay there.
Will he not get an attack of opportunity?
He will. I'm just saying. It's just obviously you know. I don't know if you're.
People can hit him. People can hit him from where I am, right? Or am I obstructing?
No one will be able to get up in melee with him, but
okay, I'm gonna move back then.
But I mean,
So,
if you want to tank, like that's cool.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna move back and let everybody be able to get a shot. So roll to
swing. So 15 plus 4. So he goes 15. Ooh, 15.
Does not hit.
Plus 2, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
15 plus 2 is 17. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, hits. Well, I'm 17. Hit? Yeah.
Oh shit. So, yeah, because it's only this. Its bite is only a +2. So as you start, backing away, you're expecting it to lash out with its claw, but it just is like, and it lunges forward and just clamps onto just its teeth, mostly blunt, but these 2 sharp ones bite into the meat just on the side of your neck. There's a brief moment of, it's horrific, but there's a moment of panic where it's like it's gonna rip your jugular out, but as you feel it doesn't get anything vital, but it pulls meat away from your neck. You hear your skin snap like leather, and there's a squelch, and then you see blood, hot, wet blood running down its dry, cracked lips. It swallows the meat. It swallows your blood, and regains. Oh no, sorry. It is. What's your Constitution modifier? 3.
My con is 3. Yeah.
So even same as the roll, it regains 3 hit points, and you see it's like dry. You see the meat on this skinless corpse start to like almost swell a little bit, and it starts to glisten like it's got some moisture, and like it's like rejuvenating it. You see a couple of veins like sort of pulse to life beneath the previously dry flesh.
Heal.
Yeah.
How much damage do I take?
Oh God, sorry. Sorry, I forgot about that. You take 5 piercing damage.
Okay. Thank you.
So it rips into you. So that is good, but it is now the ghoul's turn. And at 5-10, it staggers up and it goes. Likes the taste, it goes to bite again, but knowing what's coming this time, it feebly goes to bite, and you've got your shield, right? You have your shield and single, yeah. You raise the shield, just put it up, and it like clamps down on the metal, and then pulls away. You hear it's like nails on a chalkboard. Its teeth scrape against the metal as you like pry its jaws off your shield. And that was its turn. It is Vorden who Get in. So I think he's gonna. He had his torch out. He's gonna. Let me see. He had his. Sorry, guys. I completely. Nope, wrong sheet. Okay, he is going to see, like, looking at this thing. He like is like, oh, I can't. He can't, he can't reach it. It's like it's tricky. It's going to be a tricky shot with his, with his crossbow. And what he's thinking, he's like, fuck. He kind of slams his fist, into his hand, and then, as he does that, can see, yeah, just, you see before you, Navani, much like this thing lashed out at Pouches, you see this spectral skeletal hand like appear in front of your face, but it launches at the ghoul, and it like grabs its neck and claws at it, and it like it sort of starts like clawing at it itself.
Ugh.
As it takes it takes 2 necrotic damage, but cannot regain hit points until the start of its next turn. Or no, I'm sorry, until the start of Vorden's next turn. So it's actually quite good, as Vorden is like like he's kind of looking at Doral and Andy like, did I do that?
I think Andy
Steve
is
Urkel
probably staring back at him going, the fuck, man?
He's like looking concerned at his hands, like what the fuck was that? And as that happens, you see Vorden kind of is like, you see him clutching his head, like he's just got a bad headache, and he stays there, and it's Andy's turn.
So from her glance towards Vorden going, Jesus, man, what? She's going to load up her crossbow again and give it another shot of that. See if she can stick it with the pointy end. So, where's my sheet? Crossbow. So that's a 12 to hit.
Like you think you've got it lined up, and you let loose, but just at the last second, as all this was kind of going on, it looks like it's kind of going for Navani. Navani raises her shield, and the bolt just ricochets off Navani's shield at the last second and misses.
So yep, that's Andy's gonna stick where she is, beside the dude who can apparently make the magic hand. So that seems like a good spot to be standing.
Pouches.
Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. I am just going to cast Ray of Frost at disadvantage against this thing.
Okay.
8.
Unfortunately, it's a miss. They just kind of poking out, and it's difficult with Navani there. It's especially because it's difficult to get a shot, and you kind of want to go for it, but at the last second, you're worried you're gonna hit Navani, so your hand kind of like you just go at the last second, and the frost splashes and coalesces up against the ceiling.
Cool. Then I'm just going to stay there.
Sure. Doral.
I think I will do the same and just try and fling a rock at this thing.
So it'll have half cover, but we'll see if it
14.
Just with the half cover, just on the money.
Lovely.
Yeah. So damage.
A 5 force damage.
Okay. So How did that not? Sorry. Yeah. So, Doral, you kick up the stone, and this time at this angle, you just punch it forward. The stone goes flying into this thing. You see it like it slams into its shoulder, and it's a scrape off like bits of flesh, and there's like a little bit of blood that seems to be returning to its body, like splashes on the wall. It howls. You hear bones snap.
That'll do.
Yeah, Navani.
I'm going to smashy again.
Mm-hmm.
So, get my... Sorry, just 1 second. There we go. 25 to hit and
Nice, yeah.
10 bludgeoning.
Ooh. Yeah, so this thing, I mean, you really like swing for the body and you hear bones crack, some, powder, essentially some are pulverized completely. And then it's just like bone dust splats out and there's this awful like smell of musty organs and rot, just comes spilling out of this thing, and you can see its insides are all dry, like almost like those organs are made out of like plastic, just matte plastic, and but it's it like and you see, it's like it's stinking breath, comes out in its face as it seems to moan in agony, and a fly comes out of its mouth. But its eyes, just bulging, eyelidless eyes, search for you and lock onto your face angrily. Anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. So it's going to go for a bite again. And it does hit. It's a 21 to hit. And so 9 piercing damage. As this time it goes for the your throat, and it pulls away a bigger chunk of meat, and you feel its teeth scrape on your collarbone, and it pulls it away. And then almost it's difficult with just this, expressionless face, but the muscles on its face kind of twitch, and it seems in abject horror and fury and hollow frustration that it's not getting any sustenance from your flesh. What it craves, it's not, something's stopping it. And as it's you can see it's as it's swallowing, you see the after image of a ghostly hand sort of squeezing its throat,
Nice.
And it lets out this horrific a dry wail. It's the most painful sound you've ever heard. It just rings out in your ears.
By the way,
its turn.
Ben, chat says I'm going. Solo from chat says I'm going to need my nightlight, comfort blankie, and teddy tonight after this.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah, I might be streaming Death House soon. That's going to be another horrific one. So that's that thing's turn, and it's Vorden. Vorden, briefly, he kind of tries to do it again, like what it just did, but he's he can't manage it, so he moves. He drops his sword. Not the sword. He drops his torch, just onto the ground, and pulls up his crossbow, and tries to shoot with this thing. It's 540, so just on the money, just gets a shot off. Nice 7, so 10, yeah, and then as this thing is, it freaked like 10 piercing damage. This thing is like, freaking out, and it lets out this, this wail in your face at Navani. You're like, fucking, you grip your hammer. This thing is like, the sound is just like rattling your brain. It's like you can feel it in your soul. You just want it to stop. Like this thing has to stop, or you're going to go insane. This sound. So you just like grab your hammer and you're about to smash its head in, when suddenly a crossbow bolt just goes right between its eyes, and you hear it slam into the stone wall down the corridor behind it, and its eyes just searching go still, and it just falls backwards, dead, on the ground.
Ugh.
Or at least you hope it's dead.
With that, I would
It just ended the music.
Yeah, perfect. I'm going to use 5 points of my lay on hands on myself.
Go ahead and lay yourself.
Okay. Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah, Andy's going to turn to Vorden and be like, was that your hand?
I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck, looking at Navani, like blood covered and dripping, and like what?
You're missing like meat.
Chunks.
Now it's, you get most of it back when, like, by immediately laying on hands, like, on the spot, magical healing. But there's a slight, when it heals over, there's like a very slight divot and a sort of a recess in your flesh.
Do we have a healer's kit?
You have 3.
Did
Oh, we have a few.
Yeah.
So they can be used to stabilize somebody
Okay, yeah.
without a check
okay.
or anything. Actually, I probably should have given you fewer, because I
Too late,
always
no
forget-
backsies.
Yeah, no, because I always forget that it's not a one healer's kit isn't a single use. I think there's 10 uses in a healer's kit.
Oh, nice. Now we have 30.
So I didn't mean to give you 30. So we may have to retcon that.
No backsies. EM should suffer for their mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or if you have 30 healers kits, that 30 stabilizations, then maybe something nastier comes out of the woods.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So can I loot him? Like, does he have anything on him?
He doesn't have skin. I doubt he
Does
has
he have pockets? Yeah.
Do you want to find out where this thing's
No.
pockets are?
No, but what is it though? Do I know what it is?
I mean, mechanically speaking, it's mostly a ghoul. It's a slightly
okay.
modified ghoul. Well, yeah.
I'm just gonna like
Undead
move up
thing
and
that
peek
wants
down
to
the corridor
eat
to see
people.
if there's more.
Yeah, but yeah, an undead thing that wants to eat people. Navani, I feel would, Paladin would reasonably sure it's, some kind of a ghoul. Sorry, pouches. I'll just, something of that ilk. So,
Andy's going to peer into all the holes. He's going to check them holes.
So, yeah, again, you can see that there are coins in this one, top left, and this one here, bottom right. And the room that you see ahead, pouches, there are, you can see that it's another room with more of these loculi, with more of these sort of burial holes with the reliefs. It looks like there's one in there that might be a little more ornate.
I'm gonna then move back and just say, hey, do you mind if we just take a short rest here? I'm almost tapped on spells.
Yeah, I need to rest. I mean, I've still got chunks missing out of my neck here.
Yeah, we can rest here, and I can retrieve everything from these holes.
I miss my neck chunks.
Yeah, give me back my neck chunks. You rolling hit dice? Anyone?
Me?
Oh yeah.
Me. I rolled
sorry.
hit dice.
I'm gonna have to do it as well, I think. Five. Okay. Okay. So,
Where did you take the short rest? Just in this room?
yeah, in this room,
Yeah.
I seen everybody went back there. So
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Andy. Do you, reach in and scoop out the coins?
I do indeed. Andy will never learn.
It's literally cursed, like right now. There is no gold, but there is 6 silver pieces and 11 copper pieces in one of them. And the other one has 1 gold piece, 6 silver pieces, and 8 copper pieces.
Cool. So while I'm pocketing that, I'm going to have taken one of the silver pieces and I'm going to let Ember out of my pocket and I'm going to use the coin and the light of the torch to hopefully try and do little, the little thing where you flash the lights and the cat hopefully plays.
Hang on 1 second, guys. Give me an animal handling check.
And then Ember ran away in the horrible basement. Where's animal handling? There we go. 20.
Ember knows exactly what you're after, and she's having a good time. She seems strangely like not, you don't know if it's a myth. Is that a myth that animals get freaked out by, ghosts and things? Because she seems, she doesn't seem just, disturbed or whatever by
the carcass of the ghouls.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah. Vorden, just say, has left the torch. He kind of like hangs the torch in one of the sconces just when you're short resting, so he's not holding it all the time, because there are like some empty sconces and some that have depleted or used up torches in them. And sorry, he is looking.
Chat says that Ember is a true warrior. She has no fear. I agree.
So everyone give me perception check.
Nice roll, Dural. I'm too busy with my neck bits. Trying to stitch myself together over here.
Lay on hands will help with that.
Yeah, but I want to save some in case we come up against anything else.
So yeah. 1 second. Yeah. So you're all like sort of just hanging around, and at one point, you let me see, where is damn. So at one point, you see Vorden like staring very intently down that corridor. And then whoever cares to look, you see at the far end the ghost of the farmer is standing there, and it's pointing the sword just down the corridor, directly, like where Vorden is sitting, just directly towards that direction and to the room. Yeah, sorry, you're muted, Michaela. I think we've...
Sorry, down this way.
Oh,
here,
I thought you were
like...
speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
To the west, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, to the west.
Okay. I guess I'm following him. We gonna follow him?
Is that walking towards it?
Yeah.
So it's the ghost is pointing down that corridor, or he's down there pointing like up.
He's at the end of it, looking at in your direction, pointing the sword at him, or in that direction. Yeah.
And we can all see it now.
Yeah, it was just you were, obviously all looking at different things, and then you noticed that Vorden was just like staring at something.
See, the necromancer wants you to actually look where he's pointing. Where you need to look is the ceiling.
How about you keep an eye on the ceiling, and I'll keep an eye on the ghost. Yeah.
Vorden is like very...
Let's just leave the ghost and carry on.
Vorden looks shaken.
Okay. Will we just carry on then?
Andy's just moving to stand next to Vorden.
I say, Vorden, what do you think? He looks like he's trying to tell us something. What's that, lassie?
Timmy fell down the well again.
I think Andy better find some fucking wine in one of these coffins.
Yeah. Okay. Right, let's just... Do I feel like the ghost is trying to tell us in what direction to go? Can I get any insight into that?
Make an insight check.
10.
I don't know.
No.
It had a pretty hateful look in its eyes.
Okay,
but maybe it hates whatever. Maybe it's pointing it. Maybe it hates the direction that it was pointing. I don't know. Maybe it hates you guys.
Well, I'm thinking like if he wanted to fight us, he could have easily done that when he was standing directly behind Vorden. So, I don't know. I feel like he might be trying to tell us something. But if you guys want to carry on in a different direction, just point the way and let me know. Okay. I'll go then. I'm just gonna start walking. So he was down this way, was he?
He was.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow where he's pointing at.
He was pointing in your direction. He was pointing towards the room that you were in.
Oh, so east.
He was pointing directly at Vorden was sitting in the middle of the corridor.
Oh, I thought he was pointing, telling us which way to go.
Sorry.
Okay.
It was at you.
Well, I'm gonna
pointing a sword at you.
Carry on down here then. I'm gonna ignore.
I think running away this way is a good idea.
Going down here.
Yep.
Cool. Let me just grab Vorden.
I did as I moved after Navani, I did scoop poor Ember back into the pocket.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not leaving her
Now,
for the ghost.
you do see in this room that, there's more of these, holes in the walls of relief, but this one here is more ornate, and the sort of angry, scary looking face on it has 3 eyes, and has these goat horns curling out of it, and it's larger than the others, as is the hole in the wall.
So
just gotta turn to Andy and be like, no.
It looks empty.
But yes.
Bar some tattered wrappings.
So when I look in, I can't see anything.
Well, I mean, if you want to get close, I mean, it's pitch black in there. So if you want to get up with a with a torch or something to look in, Vorden was like, he sort of, comes up kind of behind you and angles the torch. There are, looks like you see coins in there, and you also see what's that, 4? Sorry, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So
And
what
you
am I going to
see,
find in the devil's hole?
it looks like there's coins, and also looks like a locket or a pendant, a silver one.
Awesome. Yeah. Taking that.
Scooping.
Scooping away. Scooping dooping doo.
Scooby.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I felt as well.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. So step right up. There are 6 gold pieces, 18 silver pieces, 52 copper pieces, and the pendant is worth 16 gold pieces.
Okay, well, that's getting looped over my head straight away.
Yeah,
Right, my
the
brand new
pendant.
locket.
It is a yeah, like there's a locket, and there is a picture of looks like a dwarven woman inside.
Cool. Every time I don't get a hand cut off or something, one of these, I'm getting more and more like, oh my god. So I'm gonna sidle over to catch up to where Durrell is and proudly show Durrell the picture in the locket.
You're going straight to the bottom layer of hell, right to the basement.
Is the basement good?
You'll find out.
That it's warm. And hey, maybe my new friend over here, not the cat, the horned statue behind me. That the devil has horns, doesn't he?
Oh, you might be good pals, eh? See how that goes.
I like making friends.
Give me a shout. Tell me how it is. I suppose you can haunt me. I'll live a lot longer than you.
Yeah.
Because I'm human?
Aye. Oh well, I mean,
Oh.
I'm 70.
Oh, wow.
So-
Okay. You're way wicked old.
Oh,
No, I'm really young
Wow.
for a dwarf.
sorry. This is...
You live to be
Wow.
about 300, 400 if you live that good life and in a nice big hole somewhere, a nice big fire.
400?
No, certainly.
Wow. That's a long time to have to make it down here. I suppose if you find enough coins and stuff, you can probably get somewhere pretty sweet, you know?
You're gonna get another one of them bracelets. We're gonna see if we can get 2 of them. You can make a
No,
whole
no,
collection.
no more bracelets. She's just gonna cover up pull her sleeve down over the bracelet, give you a hard stare that's wounded that you would even suggest that she needs another bracelet, and then she's gonna slip away to the other side of Vorden so he can protect me from you.
Let's keep going.
Gonna make my way forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get up to here and peek around the corner again.
You peek around the corner, and there is another playmate. So 5, 10, 15. Will you make a perception check, Pouches and Navani?
Perception.
16.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
8.
Yeah, okay. So, as you peek around the corner, you see another. It currently has its back to you as you round the corner, but we weren't creeping or anything, so it's gonna. Oh, but split-second decision time. It doesn't appear to have noticed you yet. It's like standing with its back to you. Another one of these skinless ghouls standing there, sort of swaying. But when Navani, when you look, Pouches peeks his head out and kind of taps you on the shoulder, and Navani sneaks around. As you're standing there deciding what to do, you can see it's like standing and its head kind of like it's like tilting, and you can see its shoulder kind of
Click.
move,
Pop.
like it can, like it's listening or trying to like, what's that? It doesn't seem to have noticed you just yet. But I'm going to keep rolling perception checks.
Can I sneak up
You can make
in my
stealth checks if you
plate
want.
with
You can make a stealth
disadvantage?
check if you want, yeah, with disadvantage.
Oh. So what is it, stealth? I'm
Yeah.
not very stealthy. No. 3.
Well, it's 6 perception is better than your 3 stealth. So as you start to move, it hears, and it like its head starts turning before its body does, and you hear that snap, and it kind of it turns around, looks at you, and you see its mouth open, releases one of those horrible groans, and again you hear the dry snap of a few tendons as its jaw sort of loosens and elongates to accommodate the sound coming out of it. And I think it's going to be initiative, yeah. So, let me just clear this. Cool. Okay, you can roll now. I mean, you can. These things.
There we go.
They seemed slower than you, so you can try run, of course, if you want.
Nice, Daryl.
Wow. We're all doing well. Come on, Pouches. 6.
Why do you jinx me?
6. 3.
For a total of 6.
6.
This is your fault.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, while Ben figures things out, we just passed 200. We have 206.
Wow.
Nice.
That's huge. That's a massive jump.
Jesus.
I think
We're
I would
coming
love
for
the
solos 420.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Getting closer and closer. Okay. Just
It
give me
tends to
1
help to
second.
get closer when you have a vibrating rock.
Yeah. Okay. Where did I? Sorry, guys, I'm being slow. Okay. So, believe we've got Andy. You're up first. You've heard this, unfortunately, familiar sound.
Yeah. So I can move through squares that
Oh, sorry, guys. The allies are occupying.
allies are on. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
For God's sake, come on.
Sure.
Sorry, not you, Andy. This thing.
So Andy Panda is going to move up to be on top of Navani, basically, or under
Yeah,
Navani.
Now, yeah, the light isn't reaching obviously down into the corridor because it's back there. So obviously the torchlight is kind of going down. But once you're around the corner, what's ahead, where the
Is
ghoul is
actually
going to be in
darkness.
darkness. So you'll have disadvantage. I might actually, maybe I should take the the dim light circle off of this because I probably should learn how to do dynamic lighting to do the vision.
So, going off the noise it's making, I'm going to aim down the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a narrow enough corridor. It can't be that
Yeah.
hard to hit something. You know,
That's fair.
hopefully the ghoul
Sure.
was a big dude or a big gal back in the day, and has taken up plenty of space. Oh no! Again, Jesus Christ!
Ember.
Okay, stay put. Okay. Oh dear, stay put now. So we're gonna fire a crossbow bolt down the corridor, and that is a 7.
Oh, and that one. So
That one indeed, yeah.
give me a second. Navani, Andy, excuse me. She aims the crossbow, and you hear it twang, and then you feel something, a bolt just slam in the stone, and it sounds and feels suspiciously like it's about 2 inches away from your big toe. Other than that one, it's just like Andy shot off prematurely. And when she was floating, it just shot into the ground and narrowly missed your foot.
I just kind of give her a look, like, really?
At the back, Wardens of the Torch. What's going on down there? What's going?
Oops. And then she backs away again. Get it, Navani.
All right. I feel like maybe Warden actually might, because I wasn't. To be fair, I wasn't controlling him. He might. Oh fuck it! No, I didn't do it. No, sorry. Andy.
You want
it's
one of
Doral.
us to move him? Can you give us control of him, or if it's too much of a pain, never mind. We're nearly out of time anyway, so
Yeah. It was just I wasn't, because obviously just as I was revealing stuff. So Doral.
Okay. I am going to drop down into a sort of 3-point stance and say, I'll show you sprinting. And I'm going to spend 1 grit point to stick and move and do the dash action as a bonus action. So 5, 10, 15, 20, excuse me, 25, 30, coming through. 40, 40, 45.
I think.
Let's do that again.
10.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah, I could have got there without the one diagonal at the end anyway. I have 50 total. And I will try and punch this guy. Let's see. A unarmed strike. For a 12 total.
That is a hit.
Oh, nice. The damage will be 9 bludgeoning damage.
Nice. So actually, as you do that, you see that around. Sorry, guys. Around, like, just beyond where the others could see with the dark vision, just you move ahead a little bit, you see that further down the corridor there is another one of these things lurking. It was just outside the dark vision.
Ooh.
So, what was it? 9?
Yep.
Cool. So, 9
my
bludgeoning. Yeah, so Doral goes up and just sees this thing, hearing it, it's like howling, and it's like a to shut it up, just like cracks it across the jaw. Pow, right in the kisser. And that is Doral. Navani.
I'm going to smashy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna move up. Am I gonna move up? Hold on. Yeah, I've got no other option. I'm melee, so I have to move up.
Yeah, you just can't end in Doral's space, but I think you can
Okay.
Well, you can kind of move through. Yeah. Let me...
You can pass through a friendly, but you can't like
Stop there.
stop.
You could
Yeah.
cross to one of the diagonals.
Yeah, might go in here.
But no, because it's got to go around a corner.
Okay.
You'd kind of have to go through, sort of blocking. Well, you know what? Get up and give me give me an athletics check.
Ooh.
I'll say go with the leftmost, so a nat 1 and a nat 20. Yeah, you do manage to get. You can move around the corner if you want, but essentially you're able to kind of muscle your way past. Get squeak because you have to cut the corner. You can, and he's sort of obstructing it, but you do manage to sort of barge your way through. And actually, just as you do, just so you can see more here. Yeah, so you can there's nothing you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Yeah, you can see all of this. So there are more rows and rows here, but in this sort of long section on the ground is just a fully wrapped, like mummified body, as if it's been pushed out of the hole in the wall. But yeah, there is one of these things in front of you,
Okay.
ready to be smacked.
I'm gonna smack him in the face with my warhammer.
Yeah.
Ooh. What's that now? That's a 19 to hit, or yeah, 18. Oh, I've got disadvantage on
Okay. Well,
19.
normally it would be
19.
if you had advantage. Yeah, we'll just go. If you had one or the other switched on, we'll go for the leftmost. So yeah, 19 is a hit.
And then 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Yeah. So. So this thing, you just come in, you like muscle your way around, and like barging it back, it like goes back and it starts swinging, coming back to its original position. You bring up the warhammer and you just swing it, and you hear a creak and a snap as the tendons in its neck snap like taut wires, and its head goes flying off its shoulders and just rolls down the corridor, and it drops deader.
Deader.
As it drops on the ground, you hear shuffling from down in this direction, and you kind of look up. You look towards the back of the room, waiting for something to, one of these to round the corner. And you listen and you realize it's coming from the floor, and the body that's wrapped on the floor is now starting to squirm and like you can feel it trying to break its bonds. Okay. So that is you still have a bit more movement. You got 5, 10, 15, 25.
I'm gonna stay where I am,
5.
and I'm watching the mummy.
Yeah. So this guy, yeah. So it is now the one down the corridor is moving 5, 10, 15, 20. It's only got 20 foot of movement, and it, that's, or it'll dash, I suppose. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35, 40. That gets there. Pouches.
Pouches wants to leave this place.
Oh, 1 second, guys. We forgot to mention somebody in chat. Too much of everything. Thank you for gifting 1 tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. Sorry for missing you. We're just so engrossed with fighting.
That's awesome.
Fighting the ghouls.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
How many more ghouls do you want me to add to the command?
Wait, hold on.
So I'm just going to step around the corner, stand there in the middle of the corridor, and I am going to fire I'm gonna fire a ray of frost.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Yeah, hit.
2
That's a
points
hit,
of cold
so-
damage.
Hey
Woo!
man, every little helps.
And there's an extra effect. Its movement is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Sweet. Yeah. So it's got a whole 10 feet of movement now.
You guys are welcome. If you were just a little bit further back, that would be really helpful.
What did that not? Oh, sorry. So that was. Just give me 1 sec, guys. Okay. That was pouches. Yeah, the frost kind of comes flying into this thing's face. Did I? Oh, motherfucker. I never added Warden. I rolled his. I'm just gonna have him just move up. So he's actually 19. I think he's got one more dex than Navani, so I'll put him at 20, and I'll put Doral at 21. Okay, so I'm just gonna move him up, and then 5, 10, 30. I'm just gonna put him up behind Doral. Say he dashed on his last turn, and then so it is Andy.
Okay. So lots of noise. 5, 10, 15. Okay, so she'll move to there. And attempt another crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap, I added disadvantage, so it would be 12.
Leftmost is going to be a miss with the half cover,
Okay. And then
fortunately.
that was, she moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, which is her movement. And then I'm going to use dash as a bonus to just move a bit more. Probably move to there.
Okay. Doral.
Let's see. I want to get close to this thing. No. Screw it. 5, 10. I'll move up close to it and attempt to uppercut this thing.
Okay.
Let's see. We have 21 to hit.
Nice. Yeah.
And that does 5 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
And then I believe, yeah, I get when you use an attack action with an unarmed strike. Yeah, I get one more for
As a
just
bonus,
a bonus action. So another unarmed strike, and that is a 14 to hit.
That's a hit.
5 damage.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, will you give me a perception check as well, Doral? Doral, you come in, see this thing, you kind of give it, smack the uppercut this thing as it's gone back, and then jab into its ribs. You feel this very unpleasant sensation to its skin. Yeah, it's very dry. It's like it's hitting bloodless, desiccated muscle. But you can, and then just as that this thing's head gets knocked back from the uppercut, you notice just around the corner another one seems to be shuffling its way down. You see its arm like swaying as it's making its way towards you.
They're multiplying like snotlings.
Oh no.
Are you staying put or trying to move back?
Yeah, no, that's me.
Cool. Vorden, bloody hell, is going to. Do I have it? Let me just double check something here. No. Okay, he's gonna move 5, 10. Oh, go. We'll stay here.
Chat says tactical retreat.
Try. Yeah. Okay. So he
Why?
Yeah.
I'm still at full
does.
health.
He does manage to. So he. Nice. Yeah. He reaches out, and you see him kind of like sees Doral at this thing, and he pictures in his mind's eye, and he kind of torch in one hand. He reaches out his hand. He closes his eyes, and he like tenses in his hand. And then Doral, you see what Navani saw, as this he's and out of nowhere this spectral hand appears as if it was before your face, and it rakes across this thing's face, slashing it. It kind of hisses and recoils as it takes 5 necrotic damage, and it can't regain hit points until the start of its next turn. So this thing is and then briefly looking over your shoulder, all of you see Vorden go yes.
Give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, that's Vorden, and it's you, Navani.
Okay, so
this thing has not yet broken out from its bonds.
Can I walk up to it and attempt to just smash the shit out of it, just like a pinata that's fallen on the ground?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can just if you just go to hit, and if it hits, it will be an automatic crit. Because you could just line this thing's head up with the hammer, and
that's kind of the idea.
Go to
if
town.
you hit it. Yeah.
Treat it like a funfair pinata.
Yeah. So
23.
Just give me roll another d8, and we'll just add that.
6.
Cool. So what's that altogether?
15.
15. Cool. Yeah. You Navani just goes up and is it's squirming. Hold still, and you just boot your boot down down on its where its knees would, or down on its shin, and then at a fairground where you do the thing, you hit the
swing around
the thing, just and it's you feel all the bone and the meat and this thing crush, and blood, just what little blood there is stains the wrappings, they shred. You see mangled teeth in amongst the mulch of the wrappings and the dry flesh. But it's it twitches a little bit, and you see this broken face and this jaw and it still seems to be barely clinging to some sort of some mockery of life.
Okay.
It's still just but it looks it's fucking hanging on.
Cool. That's my turn. Unless can I move? Wait, no, I'm gonna finish it off.
Yeah, you can move back. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna finish it off, so might as well hang out here for a minute.
Cool. Yeah, just Navani's just winding up another swing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. So now it is the one before Doral. It's gonna. That's 19 to hit.
Yep, hits.
Fuck. Plus, just we say 11. That's this thing launches out, and it's a bunch of it bites into your bicep and rips as you take 13 points of piercing damage.
Jesus.
And again, it's the hot blood. It sprays all over its. You found it runs down its mouth. It's it starts gathering up bits of flesh that are falling out of its mouth, and it's cramming them down its throat. But then its eyes just bulge. That it's confused. It's why it's not regaining vitality, why its flesh isn't restoring, and it looks angry and in pain, and terrified all at once as its blood drips between its teeth. But that's its move, and the one behind it, like, moves up behind it and is just desperately like trying to get at you. So, and the other one's in its way, so it just slashes out and it claws. It just claws at the other one, and as this one is like looking confused, you see like a hand comes over its shoulder and just like rakes, and it starts ripping at the flesh of its back, and it just starts tearing it to shreds and like tears the other one down to essentially it kills the other one and moves up towards you. Its jaws hungering. Yeah. And its pouches.
It's pouches time.
It's pouches.
So I'm going to move up to here, and then like over Dural's head, I am going to again cast Frosty Time. 19 for 2 points of cold damage. I have to point out, this is a D8 damage dice.
I know, yeah. I think I did similar when I got like 2 or 3 on Vorden's Chill Touch, which is a D8.
Yeah. And then I'm going to move into that side corridor. And just give
one.
Navani like a big thumbs up, be like, you bring me to the best places.
I know.
Like, sarcastically.
You just see her like smashing this thing like, die, why would you? And it's just like these things are like, if anyone's seen Return of the Living Dead, the zombies, they just don't die. You like cut them up and they're still living. Any little bit of they flop around.
I'll be honest, the most terrifying zombies are still from, what was that movie?
28 Days Later.
No, the World War Z.
Oh yeah, similar sort of zombies.
The fast zombies are terrifying.
Yeah, they're not fun.
I mean, inherently, yeah. Andy
is getting very disturbed by how bad her aim is, and wondering should she run, but she won't. She will be brave and peek around the corner or move up so she can get a shot on the ghoul. And with total confidence this time, takes a steady aim in hopes. And I have it on normal, okay. And Durrell is right beside me, so I'll add sneak attack just in case. And boom, here we go. 19 to hit.
that'll do.
For 16 damage altogether.
Damn. Yeah, this thing is like, sorry, you it fires straight like before there was all the shit going on, like keep missing, and this time you just ground yourself, take a deep breath, hold the breath, line up the crossbow, and then just through Doral, just completely like it goes right past his ear, but you're 100% confident, and it slams into this thing's cheek, and Doral, you hear the splinter, and it just half of its face explodes, and its eye just ripped and just sent down the corridor. You can see the like a dry husk of a brain. It looks kind of like it looks like a wasp's nest. It looks like papery and just devoid of all moisture, but it's like it's still looking at you with this one eyelidless eye, searching, but it looks fucked. But it's like the one on the floor hanging in there.
Take that, you babbling rock runt.
And it's Doral's turn. So,
all right, time for some of this. And I go to left hook him to the body. Unarmed strike. 11 to hit. Ooh, that's so
just
good.
Misses. Just misses.
And I'll spend
bonus.
a bonus action to do another one. Why not?
Mhm.
17 to hit.
Yeah. So it's like, you kind of like oh, like, you think this thing's fucking, you drive your fist in and it kind of like punctures kind of like in its flesh, and it's like still standing, it doesn't really seem to like damage it, and Doral's just like, oh fuck this. And where its head was like caved in, Doral just grabs the side of its head and just smashes it off the wall. And its head just like crumbles, and like the bone just turns to dust, and just crushes this thing's head, smacks it off the wall, and it goes down. Because it had very little hit points left. It had only a few left. So yeah, that's Doral. If you can move if you want.
Yeah, why not? 5, 10, 15.
Cool. Let me just every goddamn time. I don't know why I seem to, the reveal tool, it's like half the time it just doesn't seem to click. This corridor starts curving around.
All right, that's my turn.
Cool. Vorden is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 is like, what's going on here? It's like, oh, ugh. And he is like, pokes this thing with the rapier, oh, no. Yeah, and he just like moves up to him and goes like, oh, and just steps on the remains of this thing's head and just, grinds his boot heel into its face, and it stops moving, stops shuddering, and Vorden looks at his boot heel, holds the torch up to it, and sees the sort of smear of blood and the teeth stuck onto the heel. He looks at Navani. I really, really want that wine. And that's where we're going to end it this week.
That was a great ending.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, so that's it for this session. It's still plenty of there's still lots of catacomb crawling to be done.
Andy is going to search every hole she comes across until she finds him some wine.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even seen all of. Yeah.
How charitable and gratuitous of you.
Yeah, we still you still haven't even. You didn't even look everywhere upstairs.
We'll get it on the way back.
But yeah. I have to share this with you guys in stream. This is the most ridiculous vaccination card I have ever received. Look at the fucking size of it.
That'll just easily fit in your top pocket.
That's some like World War II sized medical card.
I know. I was gonna say it's like it'll fit in my 1833 billfold where it's like yes. So I believe.
I just want to say.
Oh yeah, no.
The streams that we have coming up. So on Tuesday we're going to have Death House run by Ben, in place of our usual The Fallen Ones, and then so next week then we're going to have the new game, which is run by Dave Gibson. And that one is going to be called Terrible Trouble in Templetown. So that is going to be on every alternating Friday, as well as our Humblewood game. And then the Fallen Ones will be back next week as well. And we'll be back next Sunday to go through more of this.
More ghouls.
So yeah, in the run up to spooky season, if you want, I'll be running Death House from Curse of Strahd, the intro adventure. So if you want to see me talk more about gross zombies and how gross they are and how their gross bodies move and get smushed, then tune in.
Definitely.
if that's the kind of stuff that you sick freaks like, and I know it is.
And also
I love you.
It's a celebration stream as well because like it's our launch
is.
stream. We're going to be launching Michael Folding 3 on
Yes.
Tuesday. So yeah, it's in celebration of that. And we'll be keeping you updated throughout the stream as well with numbers and figures and how much we're going to get backed. Hopefully we'll do it in 1 hour. I'm betting we will. We'll
So
have
the last one was 28 minutes, so we got to beat that.
28
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
also for solo, just a shout out, we're at 210, so halfway to 420.
Nearly there. Nearly
There we go.
And then
Let's
another
get the
shout
number of
out
followers.
to Too Much of Everything for another gifted sub.
Oh, thank
You
you
guys
so
rock.
much. Thank
Thanks
you
very much.
And,
Really appreciate it.
I think we're going to be raiding somebody right now as well.
Yes, raid time.
We're going to be raiding Blue Box RPG. So when you get in there, just say hi and make a bit of a ruckus.
Say
Tell
boo.
them spooky.
What? Say what,
often
Ben?
say
Say boo.
Boo. Yeah, say B-double-O.
All right. We get hyped, get spooped for the 28th. So we're going to get hypey and spoopy. It's going to be great. So
Yeah, I think that's about it from
that's about
us.
it. Yeah.
From all of us.
Okay, cool. So I'll see you Tuesday. And then, we'll all see you next Sunday. So
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
bye.